What is going on, guys? I'm back. And as you can see here, I'm rocking out, playing a little classic game called Pac Man. This thing is amazing. You see this? This is amazing. It's a little keychain. Looks exactly like the classic arcade. If you notice, even the marquee on the top lights up. As you can see. And it plays the game, the actual original game of Pac-Man. And you can play it. Look. Oh, wow. What the hell is this? Oh, boy. I suck. I suck. I got caught. Pac-Man and all. Look at that. It's amazing. This is from the company called I think it's called Small World Wonders, and these are tiny arcade machines actually. Guys, I'm back, and I'm gonna have fun with this video hopefully, because I have to speak my word on it. I have to put my 2 cents in this. This is too funny. This, as you're gonna see, the title of this is gonna be called the Xbox Community Stop Damage Controlling for Digital Foundry. Stop the neutral acting. Stop the, oh, I don't want to point fingers. Listen. Digital Foundry have been playing with fire, trying to act like they're funny, and they're trying to play the God role in the video game industry. Okay? These guys need to be exposed, and if what they've been doing or what they just did with the company and developer that did the game Redout has been practices that they've been doing for a while, which I've said back a long time ago when this whole 360 situation or Xbox One situation started, that this is an agenda that they're doing because they're very biased. A lot of people have called them out, people like, Xbox 448, and Tim Dog said, that they have affiliations with people like NeoGaf. Okay, the proof is in the pudding. Okay, we need to stop. They are a professional gaming site, outlet, a source for video gamers that are hardcore and casual to come there and visit to see and get the best and correct information as possible based on games that they might be interested in. Right? You really think that Digital Foundry doesn't know when a game's going to get a patch? When us, the gamers, the casual gamers, the ones that are buying these games in social media, we already know because we see it. We see the tweets. We see the posts when the developers say, yes, there's a patch coming to enhance the Xbox One X version. It's going to have this. It's going to have that. Whether it's better frame rate, performance, 4K textures, whatever. You think Digital Foundry doesn't know that these things are coming? That they're going to make an ignorant and dumb mistake being professionals and analyze a game without the patch and not be deliberate? Come on now, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, please. Please. Cut it out. Cut the bull crap out. They did it with Titanfall. And as soon as they did it, they patched it up. They went back. They had to recorrect it because they knew they were going to look stupid. They also did it with some other game. I forgot just recently that they did it. And they did the same thing then when they did the patch. Oh, they played it without even the patch. They tried to pull the crap with, I think, was the Star Wars Battlefront. They patched it up. They never revisited, never did the same thing. Okay? These are the same clowns that when Halo 5 was running at a dynamic resolution, okay, they said, oh, the game is such a letdown. It looks horrible. It's this and this and that. Even though it kept a consistent frame rate at 60 frames locked. Because frame rate, for any gamer out there knows, is the most important aspect of a game. Okay? that said the game was terrible or that it was horrible, that there was lack of, because the background characters that you were shooting were 720p or 580p or 526p, as opposed to the whole thing being completely, 1080p full native. When consoles have upscalers and so do TVs, so that you would eliminate all these problems that you would see with a lower resolution. Techniques and concepts like anti-aliasing, right? Or things like texture filtering, which alleviate and help make things look better at all times. Okay? That you would not notice unless you had a TV that was either 50, 65 inches or bigger. Okay? Unless you had a TV that big, you wouldn't know, because the pictures have to stretch out to that point where you notice it. And they were saying, oh, it's horrible. These are the guys that said Quantum Break was terrible because it was in 720p reconstructive, that reconstructive texture technique that they did for the foregrounds and in the middle. But yet, from point to point, Quantum Break wasn't 1080p output. Okay, it was just doing reconstruction resolution. But when they did it with Horizon Zero Dawn, it was a masterpiece. Horizon Zero Dawn was a gorgeous game they've ever seen. Even though it was in 1440p resolution with reconstructive temporal, resolution, and the game was running at 30 frames per second and even had dips from time to time. That it was a magical feat. That was amazing what they did and accomplished. Meanwhile, you play Quantum Break, and there's a scene where you're actually playing the game, which you guys that played it will know, that while the whole level is actually fast-forwarding it from different timelines, in real time, you're actually playing and fighting characters while this is happening, which is something that I've never seen in any game before because of the technique. And then later on, when it came to PC, they're like, oh yeah, well, I mean, cool things considering, Quantum Break is actually demanding because even on PC, it can't run a full native higher resolution at a 60 frame consistent frame rate because it's a very demanding engine. So because they wanted to, be logical about it when it came to PC, but when it came to Xbox One's console, since they had the projection and the perception of, oh, it's the 720p box or this and that, they wanted to make it into a mockery and make it a joke. When Quantum Break had consistent 30 frames per second, it had fantastic gameplay. It didn't have no breakups and pop-ups in the actual game for the Xbox. It didn't have issues like loading or loading up, things like the backgrounds and shit like that, or pop-ups or freezing. Quantum Break ran almost flawlessly on Xbox One with barely any dips at all, even when they had high things happening. These are the same clowns that said the PS4 version was superior of GTA 5 because it had more grass. Are you fucking kidding me? Because it had more grass in certain areas. Really? These are the guys that The Witcher 3, when it came out, was actually running at a better frame rate, would even go up on the Xbox One because it was unlocked, right? Uncapped, if you will. In the 45s, while on the PS4 was on the 26 and 23s. And they kept on drilling CD Projekt Red. When y'all doing a new patch? And if you go back to their channel, you'll see they did like 20 fucking videos on The Witcher until The Witcher didn't run actually better on the PS4 as opposed to the Xbox One version. They didn't let it go. And when it finally ran better on the PS4 and the Xbox One was acting problems because of the new patch they did for the PS4, it messed up the Xbox One version. Until then it happened, they didn't stop. They weren't happy. And they did the same exact shit with what other game? Many. They did it with Assassin's Creed Unity. Unity actually ran better, even though it was 900p and had less hiccups on the Xbox One version, even on the vanilla one. It ran a better frame rate, even though the game was a hot mess, it had pop and stuff, but it ran better, right, on the Xbox One. even before the patches and after the patches. And they didn't stop and continue with the stupidity and continued with all the dumb stuff of that something's not right here, something's not right here, because the PS4 one should be up to par. Because they have better frame rate, even though, which made sense, because the PS4 one was trying to hit native 1080p all the time, while the Xbox One was 900 and would upscale, but it would concentrate on the frame rates instead of the resolution, which is more important because resolution is only the clarities, not graphics, and you have upscalers in the console for that reason, to alleviate that problem. Which somebody that's not professional in that field that knows anything about that, and the naked eye cannot see that unless you put it through a machine that would point it out, that do the pixel counts as far as the resolution goes, or pixel counting. You know what I'm saying? So we need to stop. I see a lot, and this is not no shade at anybody in the community in per se, but I see people, like Colt Eastwood and Crap and even Randall Thor trying to be civil about it, and I get it because these are good. They're good guys. They're educated people, not stupid. They're civil people, right? They're trying to be civil about it, but you guys all know very well that is BS. It's bullshit. What Digital Foundry has been doing, they've been doing it on purpose. It's deliberate. They've been doing this since the inception of the Xbox One. For whatever reason it may be. Whether they have an affiliation with NeoGAF, whether Sony gave them incentives. I mean, if you look at their TVs, they have Sony TVs also that they use most of the time. So that could be it, or maybe because in the UK Sony was bigger or whatever. I don't know. For whatever reason they're doing it. Okay? Maybe for the clickbait, like the guys called them out, the developers, for themselves. Because they know that the hate is what gets you the clickbaits in the channel. Okay? And if they're doing that, then they can't call themselves professionals. And yeah, they've done some positive Xbox news, but it's only been when it's talking about an Xbox game by itself. Like if they talked about Forza, it was talking about Forza and Forza only. And they gave it the props and the merit based on Forza. But if they did a comparison when they tried to do one, I think they did with Forza and GT Sport, they damage controlled it the entire time. And not only did they damage control, they still try to make it seem like GT Sport is still a great game, even though it's bare bone, even though it was always online, even though the game, there's no match as far as customization, whether it's internal or interiorly, doesn't have Auto Vista, wasn't a consistent 60 frames, doesn't have a lot of tracks like Forza did. Even Forza 5, that was a launch game, had more content, which you guys already know, than GT Sport. And then that's the only way when they're honest about anything. When they talk about Nintendo or Sony, they always give a logical review. It's always logical. Like what they did with Horizon. It's 1440p, but to the naked eye, you can't really see it. From a distance, it looks 4K. And it still looks beautiful. It still stays at a nice frame rate at 30 frames. And it's a very beautiful and technical achievement, right? Using logic, right? Which is what every gamer should do. But then when it came to the Microsoft stuff, this game is terrible because it doesn't have resolution. They did it with Advanced Warfare, Call of Duty, when it ran better frame rates at a lock 60 because it had dynamic resolution at 900. And then would upscale to 1080 whenever it can handle it. And there was less things going on that would, put that pressure on the CPU or the GPU, that would make a tasking process. All right? They are played with fire. They tried to make the perception and perceive themselves as a professional outlet. If you are a professional, you need to act like a professional. And if you want to cross those waters and give the wrong information, not only are you hurting developers, because now people are thinking all the developers are lazy developers, right? They don't want to do the work. But they hurt companies. The whole reasoning behind Xbox and a lot of their games not being successful or doing better A lot of it has to do with Digital Foundry. I'm almost 100% sure. Because they wouldn't get in there and say, oh, this game is fantastic. They would dissect the game and say how fucking this is not great, this is not too great, this is that, and talk about the good things real quick, pass it through, let it go, and then go back to negative thoughts. And then they say, well, at the end of the day, it's still a decent game. Remember, the casual person doesn't have the intelligence and is not game savvy like us, the hardcore gamers. So for us, no matter what they say, we know better. We're going to know based on our own gaming experience, how the game plays, what we see on screen, how it performs on the controller. We're going to know. So it's not going to matter what they say or what these computers that they have that make the pixel counts or the resolution counts tell us. It's going to be us basing it off our own experience. But the casual market doesn't. And the casual market obviously outweighs the hardcore market because that's just how it is. It's reality. It just makes common sense. You don't have to be a hardcore video game fan to buy a video game console. You see people buy, you buy it just to be part of it, and that's it, you're down. That's why these consoles are selling like hotcakes. But the hardware and the software sales the software sales is not really matching the hardware sale. Because people just buy it to own it because it's the cool thing to own, but they're not really supporting the games. Especially on the PlayStation side. Maybe with the Wii U is a little different with the Switch, because the Switch is more dedicated to the kids for when they're on the go. So the parents will buy the games so they can have those games, whether it's digital, physical, so they can have it on the go. So you're going to see the numbers a lot different because it's a different scenario and situation, platform and format altogether. So, again, I'm not throwing shades at anybody. You guys that know me personally, you know that I speak the truth out of my mind, my heart, because I'm not fake. I'm 100% with everyone. So if you take it the wrong way, I apologize up front. That's not my intent. And if you are an adult to begin with, you won't take it in the wrong way. But we need to stop trying to damage control Digital Foundry. If they actually play with fire, then they need to be set an example and get what they deserve. It's been a long time coming because we've been in this generation 4 years and they've gotten away with it for 4 years. If this is what they've been practicing ever since. And anybody with some common sense and logic knows that they bullshit a lot on all their videos, on all their comparisons. They did it with Battlefront. Saying, oh my God, even though Battlefront had all these things that were beneficial and superior to the PS4 version, because Battlefront dipped from 60 to 58, it wasn't fully optimized gameplay-wise, while the PS4 version stayed locked 60 because it was running only in 1080p or in a 1440p. It's obviously with no texture filtering, no lighting, no real full HDR, whatever the case may be. The point is, if the Xbox One X version is doing a lot more to output a superior version of something, because it's doing more work with the with the 4K textures and all that things of that nature, like tessellation and more anti-aliasing or texture filtering and the HDR full on and plus the 4K resolution, it's going to be more demanding, more taxing. Obviously, it's going to have some points where it might dip, but it's not a deal breaker where you can't play the game. That's a lie. So why make it seem and give that perception that, oh, the PS4 is superior because it doesn't dip? That's bullshit, because then that's the case. Halo was superior to all the other games they said before. And so was Quantum Break, because they chose performance over resolution. That's just common sense. And that's what us Xbox guys have been saying for the last 3 or 4 years. All the Xbox guys that you guys that hate us and are Sony fanboys or that are fanboys in general say, oh, you're a corporate slave. Then I'm a corporate slave because I'm smart? Or because I'm not dumb and I see what's going on? Then so be it. I'm a corporate slave then. I'm a grown man and I know the difference between bullshit and I know the difference between not bullshit, right? You're not going to sit there and tell me, because I have 2 TVs that are exactly the same, that I put both consoles side by side, I'll play the same exact version and I can see with my own eye that in most cases, like 95% of the time, they look either identical or they play identical, or the Xbox version have an advantage like better loading, less pop-ups, or no screen tearing, or things like better contrast, better dark blacks and whites, better lighting, better texture filtering, which I see it in a lot of games. And I've been saying this forever. That's why I've done videos from side by side with some of the games. This happened with the PS3 as well, when they claimed that the PS3 was more powerful than the 360. It just mind boggles me. We don't have to act like neutrals and act like we're level-headed just because we try to prove to people that don't mean anything to us, because they're just foolish and they're going to troll anyway. They're going to hate anyway, no matter how much logic and decency you use to damage control, so that we can give a perception of ourselves like we're really not stupid or that we're a hierarchy. Yes, we already know this. If we didn't, we wouldn't be choosing Xbox over, let's say, PlayStation. Even though all the proof is there, from backwards compatibility to dedicated servers to an elite controller, choices that are very consumer friendly, better customer service, a console that doesn't overheat at all, that's silent, the smallest console in the world with the most highest and most powerful architecture ever created. It's all there. That all the multiplats that are multiplayer heavy run better all the time. With games that have campaigns and multiplayer aspects that have longevity for us, the consumer. They give us our money for it. They give us free stuff. Like in Halo, that still gets free updates and free maps and everything like that. So that means Xbox players that enjoy Xbox and respect Xbox know that they're getting their money's worth and the respect from the company. That whenever we ask something, they listen to us and they go and do it or try to do something about it. They've changed the UI about 9 times since the launch, just to try to make it better. And sometimes it works. Sometimes they do things that suck, that I don't agree with, that I wish they had stayed there. And sometimes they hit it out of the park. But the point is, they're trying to make everyone happy. They don't sit there with their hands crossed when people ask them, like, yeah, we're going to do it, and then it don't come. Like in PlayStation, that you still can't change your name. Okay, granted, you could do free party chats without being under a paywall. But the party chats sound horrible. Everybody sounds like a robot. You can barely understand what's going on. Or you can't use regular headsets unless they're dedicated to the PlayStation, because you only hear the headsets from one ear, not the other. Listen. Let's not go down that slippery slope. We know better. We know what it is. We've been calling them out in our videos and the community and the Xbox community for over 3 years. We know what the deal is. And they're not the only ones. IGN's done it. When they did it with Ghost, it's Call of Duty Ghost, saying, oh my God, it looked better because it looks like it's better quality. And then you find out that it was 720p, both of them, when they did it. And the patch wasn't even available at the time they did the review. Come on now. Seriously? That's almost embarrassing. That's to the point that if it happened to somebody like us, you'd be like, I'm not even going to bother doing YouTube no more, because that's embarrassing. I had people that try to drill next gen, showstopper and crap because of the Madden shit, because of the Joe Montana football. When Joe Montana football and Joe Montana himself tweeted that he was at the Microsoft fucking center doing some stuff. And the dude that was making the game for the phone didn't clarify that it was a mobile phone for mobile and tablet. He tried to play. He went along with it. So they didn't look stupid. It's what any logical person would think. You put 2 and 2 together, it must be that. But something like, oh yeah, it looks better. We could tell if we put it to the machine, it's definitely 720p. And then you find out later, it wasn't. That it was 720p like the Xbox, and then they did the patch. That makes you lose all credibility. Digital Foundry, with this happening now it makes you question their credibility. And all those who doubt it, saying, no, they can't be biased. No, they probably just did a mistake. Really? They did a mistake? They did it with Titanfall. They did it with The Witcher. They did it with Assassin's Creed. No. A mistake is if you do something once and apologize, fix it, and it doesn't happen again. Or if it happens again, it's because you were unaware of it at all. Like you had no insight about it. And you know very well that neither one of those things are true when it comes to Digital Foundry. They have the insight. They know what's going on in the industry at all times because they talk to these developers directly. But when they talk to the guys from Titanfall went and did the patch and fixed it ASAP. So, in my opinion, and I don't think it's an opinion, I think the proof is in the pudding. Digital Foundry's been doing this for a long time. They're guilty. They got caught, so they had no choice to apologize because they got caught. What are you going to do? Lie? You got to try to make yourself look good because you don't want to lose credibility. But if you're smart, you know that this is not them being truthful. This is them trying to cover up because they fucked up and they got caught. It's that simple. Whether they patch, because the game's been out for months and they've been announced that they were going to do the patch. So there was no reason for them to go and do the review until the patch was out, so it would be fair on both consoles. Fact. Period. Oh, because they don't have content to put up? Oh, then you wait and you just put it up when you have it. It is what it is. Just like when they fucking tried to say that, what was that thing they tried to say? Oh, Killer Instincts. They never talked about Killer Instincts because they knew Killer Instincts was the only fighter running, right, at 900p resolution, which it did, but it was the only fighter that was 60 frames per second, I believe either in the background or in the character animation, and then 90 frames per second on the character animation or in the background. It's either one or. I'm not sure. The net coding. It was running at 90 frames per second, but it was still 60 on image, meaning either the character animations was 90 frames or the background, or vice versa. Like, for example, in Guilty Gear for the PS4, Guilty Gear X, Signs, and Regulator, and the other one that just came out, they're all 60 frames, but the animation of the characters are like 23 frames, 24 frames. They're not in 60 frames as well, like they did with the Halo. Oh, that is 900 or 1080p here, but the characters in the background, when you fight them, they're freaking in 580p. Really? What does that detract from the gameplay experience of the game? Halo plays fantastic. It's amazing. Amazing gameplay, which is the most important thing. And graphically, it doesn't fall short. It's not shabby at all. It looks gorgeous. Anyway, I'm not going to keep ranting off. This is my opinion about what's going on, my thoughts. But I'm trying to give you my opinion and thoughts with some facts behind it, showing you the examples with some common sense and logic and education. Not just me yapping my mouth because it's fun to make a video to put it on the channel because I'm trying to make some revenue. No. I'm talking out to the Xbox community and the gamers in general in the community because I wanted my voice to be heard about this whole situation. This is ridiculous that I see people trying to say, oh, but perhaps Digital Foundry made a mistake. It wasn't real. Get out of here with that shit. That's bullcrap. Bullcrap. I don't want to hear that. They've done it in many occasions. Just put two and two together and you'll see the answers. It's common logic, people. We don't need to damage control. Anyway, Xbox for life, like a sickness that can't be cured. That's my saying. That's my slogan. Don't get triggered, people. It's just gaming. Enjoy it. Whether you like my console or not, doesn't matter. Also, if you're new to my channel, thank you for the support. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And for all my continuing support of my regular subscribers and supporters, love you very much. Thank you for your continued support. Please share these videos when you can. You don't have to, but if you do, remember, if you subscribe to my channel or share any of my content, I really appreciate it because I know you don't have to. But if you subscribe and you share it, I'm really grateful and you become part of my family because you're showing me love. And I'm going to give it right back. 2018 is a long year. Let's hope for the best. And these are good things because these stir up good conversation. These are topics for good conversation. And it's good if people are doing something wrong and getting exposed because these things hurt people like Microsoft and their games and their perception with the console. It wasn't no talk before, back in the day through the 360 era about resolution. They just showed the video. They didn't even talk. They would show the frame rate. They didn't even talk. They didn't point out and try badmouth it. They did like VG Tech does. They just showed the comparison of the frame rate and that was it. Or the graphics. And then they would point it out, zoom in certain areas, show you what are the differences. Okay? This is all that dumb rhetoric bull crap. So, let's use our head, people. IntroMediaGaming.com, shout outs to you. The Infinite Rooms of the DX Mansion, shout outs to you, to my boy Dorian Pumpus. Mr. 100, DeLeon, Lady Infamous. Miss DeLeon, obviously. Awesome people like the Microbots of X, my crew over there in the UK. Shout outs to you, Microbots. Shout outs to you, Stephen Blight. The Poi, okay? And my boy, the Welsh gamer, Drew. And shout outs to Andy Mack, my main man, the real cat of all real cats. Great guy, but has a big heart. Also, shout outs to my boys at the Direct X, minus you know who, okay? Why? Because those guys are the real deal. They're real. They don't hold no punches. They say what they have to say, and they keep it honest. They don't bull crap and go around in circles. Collider, Ghost, J-Long, E-Rock, Sega Forever, Tuckmaster, Mr. Big Kahuna, Master Chief, Sir Merkham, all the great guys like NWO Prime, Kenny Thomas, and many, many more that are in this community. My boy Ricardo Vasquez. Even people like Brodio, whether you like him or not. Good guy, brings good content, tries to be honest. Wonderful people in the community. Go support all of them if you can. Some of them don't have channels, but they still support people on the regular, on Twitter, on social media, on Facebook. So they deserve the respect and love. A lot of them. Especially my boy New Legal. He just started his channel. It's growing fast. He already has 130 subscribers. Okay? 130. And it's because he's putting in the work. And people like what he does. Because he tries to be honest and it comes from the heart. And that's what I want. That's what I wanted for my channel. And I told him that. I don't care if I have only 324 subscribers. That's irrelevant. Because I know those people that come see me care about my content and care about my opinion and respect my opinion and care about what I have to say. And that's all that matters to me. And I love the hate because that means you're doing something wrong. Or right, rather. But as long as you're respectful. So again, if I missed anyone, E-Rock, Take It Forever, I hope I did it. It's that I have so many great friends that I've met through this community and through the social media stuff and YouTube that I forget. Plus, I'm diabetic. I'll be honest. Mine kind of goes off sometimes and I forget things that I did maybe a few minutes ago. It's just part of the the sickness and the disease or whatever you want to call it. I'm keeping it 100. I'm just grateful that I do remember the best that I can on a daily basis. It's a gift. Guys, love you. Thank you for tuning in. And remember what I told you guys. Check out these world's smallest keychains. Look out for them. They sell them in Toys R Us, I believe. You might find them on Amazon too. They're about $20. They're amazing. Like I said, you turn them on, boom. And when you turn them on here, right here, look. And you put the thing on, and it has the old school music and everything. Pac-Man at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. And you can play it. It's amazing. And even the marquee lights up. I love it. You can see there. Love it. Pac-Man. All right, guys. Enough of my talking. I went on long enough. Love you guys. Be good. See you soon.